Hey guys, it's Cameron here. I'm here for my team builder for week 2 against Oz in the Carolina Panthers for ISL. Coming off a win week 1 against I and looking to keep the momentum going, but it's going to be a hard week. It's a hard team matchup in my opinion. So, let's go to his team now and see what he's got. He's got Mega Venusaur, Excadrill, Zapdos, Chandelure, Toxicroak, Swampert, Iselgor, Tangrowth, Jellicent, Executor, Poliwrath, and Wigglytuff. Sorry about that. Executor is not a Pokemon I normally see, but very threatening team, I guess. I mean, some of his lower tier mons aren't as threatening, but his upper tier mons, his UU picks, are pretty threatening. Zapdos and Venusaur are going to be very hard for me to break through, and Excadrill is hard for me to switch into. That's why I had to bring Landers for it, as you'll see. And Chandelure also makes the matchup a little bit harder for me. Same with Swampert, but Chandelure just because of its typing. So let's get into the team I'm bringing. First off, I'm bringing OU Meta, the Landorus, because it was my only reasonable switch in to Excadrill, plus it can bring Stealth Rocks for me, which is nice. I don't know, defensive, it just made sense. It can come in on Toxicroak too. It can take on Toxicroak and Excadrill, which are two big things, and it also stops Zapdos from Volt switching freely, even though it could have HP Ice. So I just decided bring the bulky set, bring Toxic over Stone Edge, and I didn't see a need to speed creep against anything because I just needed as much bulk as possible to take on Drill. Also, it can be used for momentum with U-turn. Yeah, just worked well this week to be defensive. Next up, I brought a Manaphy with Tail Glow 3 attacks again. Max speed for Zapdos because to make it at least a speed tie with Zapdos, because a max speed Zapdos. And then also to outspeed some of his higher base speeds that aren't quite 100, like Chandelure. And yeah, also I brought a Rindo Berry to resist grass moves because Mega Venusaur is going to be hard for me to switch into, so if it's in on Manaphy, that way I don't have to switch out. I can set up a Tail Glow and then proceed to hit him with Psychic. And so, Mascot Manaphy this week. Next up, I decided to bring in Fernape, which is just going to be a Life Orb Iron Fist with coverage. It's close combat, Fire Blast, Mach Punch, Earthquake. So, against this team, Fire Blast, Close Combat, Mach Punch were all important. Mach Punch especially in case he had Scarf Drill, and it came down to that. Close Combat and Fire Blast are for strong stabs that hit his team hard. And then I wanted to bring Grass Knot for Swampert, but I didn't really have the space on my moveset, and mons like Manaphy can do a lot of work to it anyway. So yeah, I decided to bring this Earthquake instead to try and hit Chandelure, because Chandelure is a threat. I can't really switch into it. There's a few mons that I can't switch into, which is scary. But what you gonna do? I picked a more offensive team this year and want to work with it. So next up, I brought Safety First, the Sigilyph, for the first time this year. It's gonna be Focus Sash, Magic Guard, Psychic Energy Ball, Ice Beam, Thunder Wave. So it's got 3 coverage and Thunder Wave. It's basically gonna save me from getting swept by something if my team is getting swept by like a Scarf Chandelure or Swords Dance Toxicroak, maybe something to that extent. It'll just save me. Mostly I'm worried about Scarf Chandelure and getting that paralyzed. So hopefully I'll have a Brox and hopefully I can keep this thing healthy to Thunder Wave. Yeah, that's just the speed I need. Actually, I'm not gonna run 72 HP because it's Sash anyway. I'm gonna run it like this. But yeah, that's Safety First. It's gonna do its job to hopefully take it with Sash, that Thunder Wave something. Yeah. So next up, I'm bringing Altaria, which this week is going to be an odd set because Dragon Dance Return can do a lot of work to his team at +1. It needs +2 to outspeed Iselgor, but Iselgor can't hit me that hard unless it's got HP Ice. So hopefully I can find a time to, like, let's say Dragon Dance on Zapdos, because Zapdos can't hit me that hard, or Chandelure locked into Flamethrower, you know, Tangrowth maybe. Just there's going to be situations where I can hopefully set up. I just need to keep this in the back as more of a win condition, because I think this is more of a win condition than Manaphy this week, because Manaphy can get outsped by things, he's got some priorities. So I like Manaphy as well. Both of them can be win conditions or mid-game sweepers, but this is a ruthless Mega Altaria because Dragon Dance Return does a lot, but he's got plenty of things that can come in on it, like Earthquake beats things like Excadrill, Chandelure, that Toxicroak. Those three I needed Earthquake for. And then with Earthquake Return, Venusaur still just ate it up, and I feel like it's going to be a physically defensive Venusaur. But at +1, an Outrage can do 60, mid-60s, about 60 to 72, I think was the rule. Um, yeah, so this can always just set up a Dragon Dance as he switches into Venusaur at some point and get nice Outrage damage off to maybe set up for something like a Infernape sweep. So, yeah, that was the idea behind Altaria. And next up, I have a Hoopa. I have Bound the Hoopa. Oh, whoops. I messed up on this guy's nickname. Sorry about that, guys. I've got Bound the Hoopa, which I don't have a nature on Bound. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, everything else is good. So, I've got the leftover set for sub with leftovers. I thought about sub Nasty Plot, but Psychic, Shadow Ball, Focus Blast is good coverage, and hitting okay, the Nasty Plot wasn't necessary because it's gonna have things that outspeed me and can revenge kill me. So I decided that those three attacks, I'm pretty sure I would decide on a Modest Nature. Those three attacks plus a Modest Nature can really just hit his team hard. Especially, I can get up subs maybe on things like Venusaur that are going to want to switch out on a Psychic, and then his switch in is going to have to take a hit, which he doesn't have much of a switch in. That's what I'm hoping, that I can take advantage of him going into Venusaur on my Altaria or on Manaphy, someone like that, and set up a sub in a revenge kill situation and get a free kill. Hopefully I hit Focus Blast on Excadrill. You never be so sure with Focus Blast, but, and then the only other thing I don't have coverage for is Swampert, but that is going to get hit pretty hard by Psychic. Yeah, that's the team I'm bringing. Don't have much else to say for this week, so I ended up beating Oz last year, but he's got a much better team this year. And Mega Venusaur is a huge threat to my team. So, let's hope I can do my best and play well. So, that's all I've got for you guys. Go Manaphy City.